Alright, here's the deal. I got some bad news. Yeah, I just got some bad news. That's pretty much it. And I got some good news, I guess. But we'll start off with the bad news first, once this thing warms up and I get outside. Alright, so bad news first. Saturday I was going out to get some milk and muffins, and I got rear-ended in the Skyline. Pretty sucks, big time. But yeah, so obviously bumper's junk. Somehow it missed the trunk. The trunk looks fine. It did crack the taillight here, broke the taillight there. Obviously bumper's trash, and crash bar underneath is trash. And then it pushed the metal into the trunk quite a bit, so it all needs to be straightened out. But I've already talked to some body shops that have no problem trying to fix it for me. I just have to source the parts, since it's a Skyline and they don't want to source parts for me. So I already ordered a rear bumper, I already ordered a rear crash bar, and I have taillights that I'm going to order today. I just want to make sure my insurance is going to pay me back personally for the parts I ordered, because of course the kid that hit me had no insurance. Imagine that. And it was the dumbest way you could have hit me. I was at a red light, front of the line, sitting there. He pulls up behind me in his big truck. He's sitting there, you know, we're both sitting at a red light, there's a bunch of people behind him, and then all of a sudden the oncoming traffic, they get their green arrow and their green lights, so they start heading toward us, and I hear his truck start revving up because he has like no muffler. So I look in my rearview mirror and I see him starting to like come toward me, so I look up at the light to make sure it's still red, and before I can even look back at him to see it, look at him again, bam, smoked me. So I don't know what he was thinking, just going at a red light while I'm still sitting there. He was at fault 100%. I did get all his info and all that stuff. My insurance is going to take care of this and then go after him. But sucks. Out of all the cars in town he could have hit, he hits the Skyline, of course, but it's to the point too where like the damage is bad enough to where it sucks, but it's almost to the point where like I wish it was worse, just so they would total it out, cut me a check, keep it, fix it however I need to fix it, you know, quickly, and just daily it, and then try looking for another one. But it's just enough damage to where it's like I have to fix it because I want it to look good again. I don't know, kind of sucks, but that's the bad news. Got rear-ended on Saturday. Today's Tuesday. Trying to call my insurance guy back today, but he won't answer, to get that all figured out. But yeah, that's kind of a kick in the nuts on that part. And here she sits, ratchet strap holding the trunk down. But it's fine. I mean, it drives fine still. It's just like I feel like a peasant driving it around now because like it's all smashed up. But I've had to drive it around to different body shops yesterday and get some estimates, which really isn't bad. Everybody so far, I went to 3 shops. 2 of them have already gave me a quote, which is if I supply the bumper, which I already have on its way, I supply the crash bar, already on its way, and I supply the taillights, which aren't technically needed. I just obviously want it to be perfect. They told me for pulling all the metal out, getting it all straightened out, repainting the bumper, because the bumper I got is black, repainting it white to match, and all that stuff. Both shops, between the 2 of them, one was $1,500, one was $1,600. So I mean, really, it's not bad. I have $500 into the crash bar and bumper. Taillights are $300, so I'll have $800 in parts, $1,600 in labor, and you know, getting it all done. But then there's the part where the shops are booked up for a few months, and it takes them a week to do it. So I don't even know when it'll even get in or when it'll be done or any of that. So that kind of sucks. But I'm still looking at other shops, see who can do it fastest, see who can do it the best, who I trust the most, blah, blah, blah. So we'll get it figured out. But that's the bad news. Another thing I want to do today, if I have time, pull the carb off this bike, clean it. see what jets are in it, because it's starting to get some hiccups that it never had before. Wouldn't hurt to clean the carb once every 2 years, just real quick. So maybe after this, pull the carb off. Who would have thought that I'd spill gas literally everywhere? Not me. Not me. Oh, I feel so bad for that powder coat. Couple of things with the Skyline. So, let's see. Baby was born Monday, I think Sunday. The day before, I ordered a brand new turbo, the Tomei Arms turbocharger for the Skyline. It was like $1,600. It's good for 450 horsepower. I ordered that because the website says in stock. This is the same place I got my water pump, timing belt, all that stuff for the Skyline, which said in stock, and I still had to wait weeks and weeks for back ordered items that they didn't say. So I ordered that for $1,600 just for them to email me and tell me it's on back order till end of July. So it was either cancel the order and try to find it somewhere else or wait it out. So I told them keep the order until I find somewhere else that has it in stock, and I'll order from them. I haven't even been looking, but so I'm waiting for the turbo to show up, but I ordered that. I also went and got some wheels for the Skyline because anything on there is better, or anything other than what's on there now is better. The dude also told me these were 17x8s numerous times. It's also my fault for not checking, but they're not 17x8. They're 17x7.5, which is the same offset that I have on there now, or same size wheel, except for this is 45 offset. The ones I have on there are 42, so these are actually less offset. I guess you could say more offset, sunken inward, than what I'm looking for. And he gave them to me in obviously a different wheel box. He ordered different wheels. This is the boxes from the Motegis he ordered, which say 17x8. So seeing 17x8 on the box, him telling me they're 17x8, didn't even cross my mind to second guess it and look on the actual wheels themselves. I just kind of took his word for it, and they're not what I wanted. So I'm trying to sell those just for what I paid, just to get wheels I, want for the car. But obviously now, because I bought those wheels the day before I got rear-ended, bought them on Friday, got rear-ended on Saturday. So obviously wheels are not that high on my priority list anymore, but I'm going to try to sell those and find some like 17x9s, 18x9s, somewhere in there. When it's at the shop, I'm going to see if they'll even roll the fenders for me, because I don't trust myself to do it. But if they can roll the rear fenders and the front fenders for me so I can really get some nice wheels on there without stretching tires too much, and I don't want no rubbing, I'll have them do that as well. And then hopefully, when and if that thing does make it to the shop, hopefully soon, I have to call my insurance guy again back right now. Hopefully it doesn't take long to get the car back finished, because I'm more bummed about not being able to drive the thing for however long the shop has it. I'm more bummed about that than it actually getting hit. Like, I hate not having it to drive. I love driving that thing every single day. In the summer literally just hit, and like anytime I have to leave the house to go somewhere, I'm more pumped that I get to drive that thing to wherever we're going. And that won't be the case anymore. So it'll either be take the bike when I can, take the girlfriend's Jeep because it has AC, or take my truck, which I absolutely hate driving, but now I don't really have a choice until I can find something else to buy or get this thing fixed if that part comes early. But also not very ideal to take everywhere since it's very slow, it's very tiny, and it's just kind of a fun little take out for cruise here and there versus daily drive it. But other than that, I'm going to wait a little bit, pull the carb off, get some details about that. About to pull this carb off, but I also forgot to mention I ordered a new wing for my car also, and a carbon fiber, like, it goes right above the exhaust on the bumper. It's like a heat shield basically. So obviously that goes on the rear bumper. I ordered that probably a few hours
before I got rear-ended, so that's pretty cool too. But it's gonna get used eventually anyways, so the guy asked if I wanted to cancel my order. Told him no, because when it's repaired I'll obviously still use it, so not a big deal. But I'm gonna get the carb off now, drain it, see what jets are in it, spray it, get it all cleaned up, put it back on. This thing's like, it fused itself on. It's so hard to get off now, but we'll get her off. Alright, get this thing cracked open. She's spraying fuel all over my socks because I'm wearing Crocs. Let's see what we got in here for a jet. So, for everybody that asks what jet I run in the 212, my main jet is a 124, and my pilot is a 36 pilot, 124 main. That's what I'm running. Seems to be pretty good. Obviously you've seen most of the time, except for like the last couple times, it's been kind of hiccupy. I have never messed with that screw, I don't believe, and obviously that's just the idle. But just to confirm, I don't know if you'll even be able to see it, but that's the main 124. It says R124 on it. Pilot is a 36. I don't think this will focus in close enough, but 124 and 36 is what I run. Don't really mess with anything else as far as getting this thing tuned. I just kind of was slapping jets in and out, taking it for test rips. This was the best combo that I found. Take it for what you want. Try the same jets, see what happens. Obviously elevation's going to play a role and all that stuff. I do run 93 in it. The spark plug in the motor is a spark plug that came with the 212. I've never changed it. I could probably pull that and see what that looks like too. So I don't think I've ever one time pulled the spark plug out since I've got this thing running. Here's what it looks like. Take it for what it is. I'm gonna spray this thing out, put the plug back in, and then take her out for another rip probably.
But yeah, so I'm basically just gonna go out. I'm gonna go put gas in it again. I'm going to go out and do some draggy runs just because I think the weather's a little bit better now and the carb's cleaned up. It already seems like it's running better than it was earlier just from cleaning it. So I'm gonna go out and do that. Take a lap. Yeah, talk about the same things I talked about a little bit ago. There's some clips from earlier that I can use. Not everything was junk, but most of anything while I was riding was pretty much junk. But I'll see what I can use out of it. Put one video together. It just kind of bums me out that it's always doing that with the microphone. I changed a couple settings that maybe will help. For some reason this GoPro was on like a microphone setting that is set plus, and it boosts 20 decibels to the audio, and I'm maybe assuming that's why it gets all crackly when something gets loud, because it's adding decibels to what it's already recording. So I'm hoping that's what the issue was and it doesn't do it anymore. But either way, I'll probably pull over and check to see if the audio works, and if it doesn't, I'll unplug it. So the first couple clips might just be trash again if this microphone doesn't work, but then I'll unplug it, so we'll go from there. Okay, so I just checked the audio on that previous clip. Okay. But anyways, I don't know why it's doing this, but anyways, I checked the audio on that clip. It seems to be working fine now. There was no static when I was getting on it with the exhaust, all that. So I think just the settings in my camera, which I thought I changed once before and figured it out, but maybe they automatically reset. But anyways, now that I know how to set it up, using this camera shouldn't be a problem with the microphone, which I'm pretty stoked on because battery lasts much longer than the other camera. And
The 4K on this one's a little bit better. So that's good though. I'm gonna go out to the road and make some draggy passes. It's kind of windy still, but whatever. It's chillier and the carb's cleaned, so it might be better.
Oh yeah, I think all I needed was a good carb clean. She's running smooth, no hiccups. It doesn't feel like I'm riding into the wind when I'm trying to cruise. It didn't look bad inside, but I'm sure like just some small buildup in those jets, you know. You notice that in these carbs. But it seems to be good to go now, so much needed on that. We'll see if that improves the old draggy times at all. But I'm just glad this microphone's figured out, because it's been just like pissing me off for so many months. Like I paid like 50, 60 bucks for this microphone adapter because it's the only one you can use, and then I tried like 4 different microphones. All of them did the same thing. But if it's just a settings thing that was in the camera that I had wrong, I'm fine with that. I'll take the defeat on not realizing it or looking it up a little bit closer and just blaming it on the microphone and the adapter. But it was just super annoying. Every time I'd go out, try to put a video together, it was like just useless clips. So I'd be pretty stoked if from now on they just work. I'll just have to make sure to check my settings before every time, make sure they're where they need to be. Alright, let's get a run in quick. Still a 17.14. I'm gonna turn around and do one the other way. Gotta get the launch down, and I got a short shift. I gotta remember to short shift and not rev this thing out, because it stops making power up top and it's faster when you just short shift it. So I'm gonna try to get out of first gear faster, get into second and third without winding first and second out. It seems like the faster I do that, the better this thing does. So I'll try that again. Maybe going this way will be a little better. Bunch of cars, wait for them, pull my pants up. I want to get into the 15s again, obviously, but that was a 10.3 eighth mile, 0 to 60 in 9.3 seconds. I don't remember what my other ones were, like the best, you know, to compare how bad that was, but I mean, it wasn't great, so. But there's no cars coming this way, so I'm gonna go out, do another one. I basically just gotta get the launch down really hard and then get all the shifts early for it to be good. The launching part's the hardest. So I'm gonna try to launch this baby. There we go. 15.97. That's what I wanted. Back in the 15s. So yeah, that shows just from the launch and not short shifting. One run was a 17 and one was a 15.9. So that's shaving off like over a second. I do want to get this thing to an actual drag strip, hopefully this summer. Not, you know, I can't really say for sure, but I'd like to. And see what a real time slip looks like. Obviously this is like super accurate. You can't really ask for much more other than being at the track than this thing. But it'd be cool to get that printed out, 15 second, even maybe a little bit better. And just have some fun racing this thing at the track. Because I know when I took this thing to the track 5 years ago or 6 years ago with the 140, it was super fun. But yeah, I want to do that again. That was sweet. I'm like super paranoid at every red light I stop at now, just thinking I'm gonna get rear-ended again, just since I got hit in my car Saturday. But now I'm on my bike, it's like really sketchy. I keep thinking about it, so I'm trying to like plan ahead and not put myself in that situation if possible, but it's kind of impossible. But yeah, that shit was fucking not fun, so try not to have that happen again. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, if the clip isn't usable, today's Tuesday, not yesterday Monday, but the Monday before, so 8 days ago, my baby was born. So I've been super busy with that. It's been awesome though. So I got a little baby girl. She's 8 days old today. Had to stay in the hospital for 3 days before we were discharged to go home. So been super busy with all that. Super busy with my car getting rear-ended and trying to talk to insurance and get it to body shops yesterday. Getting, you know, going and getting estimates from everywhere, talking to insurance, blah blah blah. I have off until this Friday, so I have 2 more days off, and then I go back to work full time. But it's been awesome so far with the little kid, little baby. Had her 1 week checkup yesterday. She's doing like basically perfect, they said. So good to know, good healthy baby. But yeah, so that's taken up most of my time lately. But I'm not mad about it. Front row with the red light, I don't know if they know this, but they're getting raced. It's just how it works. Got some bikes there. I'm about to show them how this thing gets down. Make sure there's no police behind me first. See ya! Not my house, baby. That's the best. Just racing people that don't know you're racing. There's nothing more fun because you usually always win. There's a pretty good % chance you win. And winning's a good feeling. Make sure my fuel line hasn't popped off yet. I think they got a little bit of a car meet going on down here tonight. Maybe I'll pop in. Not though too. Nah, I probably will. It's too embarrassing to take the Skyline out anywhere because it's all smashed, so gotta take the bike, you know. Oh well though, bike's just as fun. What is this guy doing? Keep it in your lane there, bud. We don't need more idiot drivers out hitting people. Or just putts along, I guess, too. Oh my god, all the food down here smells so good right now. I'm hungry too, I can't wait to go home and cook. Some hamburger helper. All these green lights just waiting for me. Spoke too soon. Oh my god, that rear brake is so disgusting. I cannot stand it. But my rear brake light's wired to that only. For some reason it doesn't work with my handbrake no more, so I have to use it. Ugh. Gross. Need to get that sorted out. Soon. Get it sorted out soon. Not today. I'm gonna do a U-turn and roll through the little car meet. Why not, you know? Won't hurt. I'm not gonna stop or anything, I'm just gonna roll through. See who's there, see how many people's. Check out my little bike. Call out some cars with it, 'cause why not? There's some people, some bikes. I don't feel like sitting here. Fuck that. Couldn't do one earlier, so do one now. This is my favorite road to do wheelies on at nighttime, especially. But that was a good one. I could have kept going, but I was going pretty fast, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because that car in front of me started to slow down. That would have been bad. Blah blah blah. But I'm gonna head home. Now here's the famous. Can I find neutral? There we go. I lowered the idle down a little bit while I was riding, so I think that helped. Because the higher it idles, the faster everything inside's spinning, the harder it is to line up neutral and get it in there. But yeah, real quick, let's look at that draggy. Let's look at those draggy results real fast before I end this video. So I forgot how to even do this. Let's see, me, history, quarter mile. So my best before was a 15.98 at 77.7. This one was just like a touch better. 15.97 at 77.08. But obviously it's not much. 15.97 for 15.98. Let's look at the... It's valid, so the road was flat enough to count. 8th mile was a 9.85 at 67. Damn, 67 by the 8th, that's pretty good. 60 foot was a 2.2. 1,000 foot was a 13. I still want to get like a 15.5 one of these days. What was this one? 8th mile 9.87 at 67. 9.85 at 67. Okay, that was a little faster. But yeah, so, and then yeah, the other run was a 17.1 at 69. Didn't even break 70, which is kind of weird, but yep, that's gonna be it. Custom, I don't even know what this is. 0 to 40s, bunch of junk. Select all, delete. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me tonight.